It is a very late Sunday. We just got into Houston, Texas. It's been a very busy trip. Certainly not a vacation at all. But I want to make this video tonight to thank everybody. I was reading the comments earlier, and there were some really incredible comments about the decision to move out of the state of California, a decision that I've been working on, for about 3 years. I know a lot of people think it's 10 years, 7 years, whatever. It's been 3 years that I really seriously began to think about getting out of the state, and really fell in love with Alabama, and went back again last year and looked at certain counties that I was very interested in, and the properties I was looking at: mandatory pond, mandatory acreage, good locations in the southern part of the state. So, I think this is going to work out really well for all of us. But it's been, a lot of work, and just a lot of thinking, a lot of processing everything. It's a long move, 2,000 miles, whatnot. And look, we still have got to get all the inspections passed, so we're not there yet. But, somebody in the comments said, man, that pond's probably full of leeches. It may be, but let me tell you what's really full of leeches. California. The state is bleeding people, including myself, dry. The leeches are in California. They tax you for everything. They want a license, a permit for everything. They will bleed every drop of blood out of you in California, and that's one of the biggest reasons I decided to get out of the state of California, because California is the biggest leech of them all. Then, of course, you have Illinois, New York, and states like that. But the real leech is not what's in the pond. The real leech is the state of California. So I want to be very clear about that. And just what I have to pay in taxes in California, fuel costs. We just got another tax. We'll get more taxes. We have another refinery closing down. It's unbelievable. And then, of course, they want to bleed even more out of you to take care of people from all over the world, making sure that they get health insurance, making sure that they have access to the emergency room. And this costs the state billions of dollars. And so who do they turn to? They turn to you, the taxpayer, and they bleed even more money out of you because they're just big leeches. So that's the real big reason I'm leaving. Of course, just the mentality of California, its politics have absolutely become psychotic. The cost just to go out and get something to eat is bananas. It just goes on and on and on. The reasons. There's more reasons to leave than to stay. And again, I want to thank everybody for the incredible comments, all the support out there. I really do appreciate it. And look, there's no perfect state, but you have to go where there's more like-minded people, where you have a chance, where you have the ability to be able to think for yourself, not be, bled to death with taxes and laws and permits and licenses and all of this BS. So it was definitely overdue to get out. But, this is the thing. When you have business, you have family, you've got logistics, and, of course, finances. You got to make sure you can afford to do this. You don't want to, just rush into something and then go, oh, now how am I going to pay for all this? So I was very strategic with this move, being patient. And I know a lot of people out there said I would never do it. And look, maybe the inspections come back and we've got a catastrophic defect in the house that would grenade the whole deal. But it wouldn't stop me from going and finding another property. But it would be a setback. So I pray to God that this works out. This is a beautiful property. A lot of you were commenting about the pond. The pond is huge. It's got big bass, big catfish, big crappie, brim, acreage. Properties, got deer, pigs, turkey, you name it. So a few people asked about gators. Yes, the property has gators. The owner, presently, the owners had to have a ranger come out and they pulled 11-foot alligator out of that pond. So yes, there are gators there. So I call this the Alabama Alcatraz. There's one way in, one way out. You certainly don't want to swim onto the property because you probably won't make it. And of course, there are going to be some very, very big dogs. So tomorrow, I'm going to see my good buddy Travis. We'll be heading further into Texas here, and I will be heading over to Pressamania to look at a couple dogs, a couple young pups. And I know he's got some breedings coming up, and so we're going to talk about that because it is imperative, to have security no matter where you live. Of course, we have security, we have the proper tools. We will have cameras set up. We will have multiple dogs on the property. And of course, gators are in the ponds. So there is a fencing around the pond to make sure that nothing, comes into the yard, but that's not going to stop an 11-foot gator. I realize that. So we will set up a secondary fencing area. That gator has been removed, but there was another one that was removed right after that. So wherever there's water in Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, you have to realize that there is potential of having alligators. Does it bother me? Absolutely not. The dogs will not be going near the water. Nobody will be swimming in the water. But certainly you don't want to come to my house and try to swim across the property to my house because it could be detrimental to your health. And the house has over a half a mile long driveway coming in, very, very long, probably about 3/4 of a mile. So there's one way in, one way out, which I really like for security, having the cameras and just having that barrier of security, right? So you have the dogs, you have the road, you have the cameras, you have the gate. House has a gate also. So there's a lot of really good things I like about the property. There's a few things, like I said, we had to address the road situation. Was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, so not a big deal. Aaron, my buddy, from right here in Texas, who we'll also be seeing, he will be helping with the road probably in August, September, and we'll get that resolved completely. But no, it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. What else can I tell you? The weather's been really good on the way back here. I know that this storm in Texas, over 70 people have lost their lives. Let's keep them in our prayers. It's a horrific event. A lot of kids went missing, gone. So let's keep these people in our prayers. And just, if you're thinking about leaving a state you're in, you gotta really don't jump into anything, but also time may not be your friend. I do believe, as optimistic as things seem right now with the big, beautiful bill, the stock market at all-time highs, this is the thing, everything, is at all-time highs, right? And this is usually when something big happens. So I'm not taking any chances. On top of leaving California, the biggest leech of them all, I had to leave just because of what's happening socially around the country, the disruption, the separation, the divide that we're seeing in America. It's just time to get somewhere where people are a lot more down to earth, a lot more prepared. Their mentality is a lot more level-minded and balanced. And so it's just time to get out of a state like California, because I will say this, if inflation does get out of control, if society does melt down, and we're watching it happen right now, it's not even if, it's when, but it's happening right now. Where do you want to be? You want to be in rural America with like-minded people, or do you want to be in the cities? Do you want to be fighting over a can of sardines at Walmart, or do you want to be growing your own food, talking to your local farmers? I've got a lot of farmers all around my property that I will be obviously introducing myself to. But there's always a food source, right? We have fish, we have water, we'll have a garden. Somebody asked if there's a generator. Yes, there's already a generator on the property. I will be putting a range in at the property. So it just it just checks a lot of the boxes that I was looking for. And, hopefully it all works out. Nothing's perfect. there's bugs, there's snakes, there's leeches, but there's much worse snakes, leeches, and bugs in California. I will tell you that. I will say this about Alabama. This is the third time I've been to Alabama. The people are amazing. It's a beautiful state. If you've never been there, it is green as green can be. The food is absolutely amazing. The hospitality, amazing. Again, nothing's perfect. There's going to be rude people everywhere. There's going to be, bad people everywhere. But overall, what a difference in the state. I didn't see bums. I didn't see tent cities. I didn't see graffiti. I didn't see trash all over the road. People actually take pride in their work. They took pride in their little towns. And people just live a much more simple life. They're not out impressing. I just look at the cars. It's all Toyotas, Nissans, and Hondas, and pickup trucks. So it's a whole different life. And a lot of people will say, I'll come back to California. No, I won't. This is it for me. I wish I could have got out of California years ago. But it's all about timing. You got to make sure that you have the resources, the money to make the move. And if you don't, just make the best of where you're at. Fortify your place. Make sure you have the security, the food and water, pay the debts down. And maybe at some point you can make it, somewhere else. Maybe it's going to take you a year or two. And maybe it'll be too late. Maybe it won't be too late. Maybe you have a place you can get to. Maybe, just have that good circle of friends. Again, it's food, water, it's training, it's skills, it's that circle of friends, all of those things. Not everybody can go buy a ranch. I understand that. But you got to do what you can do. Maybe you're living in a condo. Well, do the best you can. Make sure you have skills. Make sure you have the right friends. Make sure you have, 30, 60, 90 plus days of food and water. Maybe you have a bug out, destination, something, just do something. I'm optimistic that things will improve, but, when I hear that everything is at all-time highs, everything's wonderful, the economy's doing great, the stock market's at all-time highs, S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, all this stuff, all-time highs, it's concerning. It's concerning because what also is at all-time highs almost is gold. And that's concerning because gold is definitely telling us something. So look, if nothing happens, wonderful. I'm breathing fresh air. I'm eating fresh fruits and vegetables and fresh meat, some fresh cattle out there. And I'm breathing, the good country air and living a good, simple life. And that to me is worth its weight in gold. And if nothing happens, wonderful. If things do happen, and I do expect them to happen, we're going to see some events in America. I feel much better watching them from my television, tucked away in the hillsides of Alabama versus watching it out my front window in Palm Desert, California. So I just wanted to share this with all of you, and I really wanted to say thank you to everybody, all the prayers, all the positive wishes, all the positive comments. I want to thank all of you. That was so touching, so kind of all of you to just think of us and to wish us nothing but the best. I really, really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Most of you I've never met, and yet you thought enough to leave a comment and wish us and pray for us the best. I really, really do appreciate that. I'm a very humble person, and that really, really touches me and really meant a lot to me, all those comments. And to the naysayers, to the negativity, that's fine too. That's fine. I try to put my money where my mouth is. I try to walk the walk the best that I can. And moving, 2,000 miles, I think pretty much says I'm walking the walk and that I'm actually doing something to secure my future, my family's future, and that I'm taking action. And I know that not everybody can do that. Do what you can do, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you can do. And maybe at some point you'll be in a position to move where you want to move. And maybe you don't want to move, and that's fine too. But it's all about your situation, and you got to do what you think is best for you and your loved ones. So, coming to you from Houston, Texas. Stay tuned for tomorrow's show. I'll be talking to my good buddy Travis. Tomorrow we'll be talking about some dogs. I'll shoot some video of the dogs, and I'll be seeing my good buddy Aaron after that, and we'll probably just be talking about everything. So stay tuned for tomorrow's show. Keep you posted. Thanks for all the prayers, ladies and gentlemen. Really do appreciate it. Again, coming from Houston, Texas. It's about 85 degrees out right now. Beautiful night. Gonna get some rest. Hit the road again tomorrow morning. Man, we left Wednesday and we were in Alabama Friday, and we were back on the road. We looked at the house on Saturday, back on the road Sunday, and here we are. Sunday from Alabama. Sunday night, here we are, Houston, Texas. Tomorrow we'll be and going further into Texas to see the crew, and we'll see where we land up after that. So have a good night, have a great day. Thanks again for all the prayers, all the positivity. Talk to all of you soon.